All right, so the next one here, the U.S. to formalize its military presence in Syria in a deal with the al-Qaeda-linked government. So this was reported by another one from the New Arab. And it says that the U.S. is working to formalize its military presence in Syria. This report was published on Friday and said that a high-level U.S. military delegation was expected to meet with Syrian officials in the coming days with the goal of shifting the U.S. military presence from an illegal occupation to a formalized legal partnership. And the report comes as the U.S. has been drawing down its forces in northeastern Syria and handing over some bases to the Kurdish-led SDF. The U.S. is expected to maintain only one base in Syria, the Al-Tanf garrison in the south, which is situated where the borders of Syria, Iraq, and Jordan converge. From Al-Tanf, the U.S. helped its proxy militia known as the Syrian Free Army, not to be confused with the Free Syria Army. This is a different group. The Syrian Free Army, they used to be known as the Revolutionary Commando Army, but it's one of these U.S.-backed militias. And so from Al-Tanf, the U.S. helped this militia join in on the offensive led by Hayat Tahrir al-Sham, HTS. And this is the offensive that ousted Assad. And the U.S. helped coordinate between HTS and this U.S.-backed militia. And members of the militia said that the U.S. gave them like advance notice that this offensive to oust Assad was coming. So the U.S. had foreknowledge that HTS was going to launch the offensive, which isn't surprising. But it also helped coordinate it and with HTS, which is still considered a terrorist organization by the U.S. But anyway, back to this, what this report says here. So, this is a bad sign because a formal deal, if the U.S. signs some kind of legal deal to make their military presence, quote unquote, legal in Syria, that sounds like they're planning a long-term military presence and that U.S. troops are not going to be pulled out of Syria anytime soon. The Pentagon is currently working to reduce its forces in Syria to fewer than 1,000 troops in the country. And according to the latest reports, approximately 1,500 U.S. troops are still in Syria, but they're planning to stay for the long haul, it sounds like. And as we've been covering on this show quite a bit, the U.S. has really embraced the new Syrian government that's led by HTS, led by Ahmed al-Shara, who was the founder of al-Qaeda in Syria. And he rebranded HTS and formed HTS in 2017. And this is all because Assad was allied with Iran. So it doesn't matter. We could ally with al-Qaeda as long as Iran is out of there. And if you see, what is the one country, if you see Shara, he's been real careful not to upset Israel, not to upset the U.S. Of course, he doesn't want to upset Turkey, which was his main backer. But the one country he's not afraid to take shots at is Iran. And when you see his statements with officials in meetings with U.S. officials, he says, we have this great opportunity now that Iran is gone. So this is what it's about. And who wanted Iran out of there? Obviously Israel, since Syria served as a way to get weapons to Hezbollah.